Hey Fantasy Academy, welcome back to Waiver Wire Week 11. Do me a favor and hit the subscribe button now. The narrative surrounding this last week rests upon the shoulders of mediocrity. My league saw the second lowest combined totals this season. However, I suppose it is possible to have compiled the perfect lineup and scored big. I hope all your leagues, though, ended with wins. Well, unless you played against me, then I hope you felt the pressure of me crushing you. Anyways, NFL Weeks 11 teams on bye. The San Francisco 49ers, the New York Giants, Chicago Bears, and Buffalo Bills. Okay, now let's get into up-to-date injury report. All is mostly quiet on the COVID and injury front. Many of these injuries don't actually affect the waiver wire for Week 11, but let's go ahead and take a look anyways. First, we have Drew Brees, sat out the second half due to a rib injury. Not just a rib injury, but like a punctured lung and multiple ribs involved here. The guy's a champ. Traquan Smith suffered a concussion. Teddy Bridgewater left the fourth quarter with an injury to his knee, though initial reports seem positive. Good job. Matthew Stafford is scheduled for x-rays on his thumb. Also, those looking for the emergence of Jermichael Hasty will have to wait until next year as the rookie suffered a broken collarbone. Ouch. Lastly, Nick Boyle left the game on a cart and reports say that he is done for the year. All right, let's get into quarterback waiver wire pickups. First quarterback is Derek Carr. Now, the odds of you needing to start Derek Carr is slim, but even though he's coming off a poor performance, he has typically put up solid numbers. In addition, the schedule opens up in weeks 12 and in 13. Are we really at 12 and 13 coming up? Anyways, 12 and 13, where he faces Atlanta and the Jets. Now, if we could, get Josh Jacobs to stop stealing all the goal line opportunities, we'd be in business. Look to pick Derek Carr off the waiver wire if you're in a streaming position. Next, I have Tua Tagovailoa. I really should learn how to say this name. Well, this weekend's performance showed us exactly what you want to see from the rookie. Again, making him a solid waiver wire choice for Week 11. He put up a few touchdowns and added some solid yards. However, the absence of turnovers is really the headline. Coming up in the schedule also is the Broncos, 9th most points allowed, and then the Jets, 10th most points. It's not bad. Let's go ahead and take a look at the running back waiver wire pickups. First, we have Nyheim Hines. Nyheim Hines' stock is creeping up. This last Thursday, the Colts tailback gained 70 yards on the ground while adding 45 yards through the air on 5 receptions. In addition, he posted a pair of touchdowns to go with his yardage. Pretty good. You may notice some low weeks to go along with these high games. However, if you take a closer look, you'll notice the correlation between the low scores and the good run defenses. The same is true for high scores and poor run defenses. The good news is Hines faces poor run defense the majority of the remaining season. This includes Green Bay Packers, another Tennessee matchup, 2 games against the Texans, and the Las Vegas Raiders. Hines is a league winner for whoever picks him up in Week 11. Hines should be at the top of your waiver wire claims this week. Next, I suggest Kalen Ballage. Joshua who? Kalen Ballage steps up with over 100 all-purpose yards. Now, of course, we are talking about Kalen Ballage here, so don't get your hopes up too much. However, playing 72% of the backfield snaps isn't anything to turn away from. With Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson out due to injury, it looks like Kalen Ballage will take over as an RB2 flex option, making him a worthwhile pickup. Next, now, hear me out on this one, Damien Harris. I know I've written about him before, but hear me out again. Damien Harris will never be a top RB1 with Cam Newton stealing all the goal line touches, but he is a running back with consistent work. His upside in PPR is capped, but the floor is there. This last weekend marked the third occurrence of 100 rushing yards or over. Now he faces the Houston Texans this week that has just allowed 230 combined rushing yards to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I don't expect Harris to have those types of numbers, but he should do just fine. He is a desperation flex option off of the waiver wire. And lastly, for running back, Salvin Ahmed. Cut by San Francisco, Salvin Ahmed signed with the Miami Dolphins as a free agent. Little did he know that every running back in front of him would get hurt. And recent news just shows that Howard has also been cut, permitting Ahmed to start and run with it. Ahmed ran with ferociousness and intensity. On 21 carries, Ahmed ended the day with 85 yards and a touchdown. The opportunity is there, while all other running backs recover from injury, thus making Ahmed a solid waiver wire add. Now for the wide receiver pickups. First, Jalen Reagor. Trusting Jalen Reagor in the Eagles' passing attack is not an easy thing to do. This weekend's numbers don't prove anything otherwise. Ending with just 44 receptions for 47 yards isn't exactly meeting expectations. However, there is hope in the next 2 weeks. They play Cleveland Browns, who allowed the 6th most points for wide receivers, and Seattle Seahawks, who allow the most points to wide receivers. Reagor is a wait-and-see option for waiver wire pickup. My next waiver wire pickup is Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman made a statement this weekend that he should not be overlooked, thus, of course, adding him to the waiver wire recommendation. Phillip Rivers tends to spread the ball around, but Pittman's performance demonstrates a mixture of talent paired with opportunity, and in addition, 101 yards on 7 of 8 targets at the NFL level is a great feat. Be on the lookout for a pattern to take hold, because Michael Pittman just may have arrived. Now let's talk about Tre'Quan Smith. It appears the return of Michael Thomas diminishes Tre'Quan Smith's rise to power. This last weekend, you wouldn't even know that he was really playing based on the statistics, though this is of course due to a concussion, mostly. So why is he on this week's waiver wire? In the next 3 weeks, the Saints face off twice against the Atlanta Falcons, who allow the 4th most points to wide receivers, and that's it, plain and simple. Lastly, we have the tight end waiver wire pickups. There is one, I say one, that I feel confident in, because this last week, there were no tight ends that did well. In fact, Logan Thomas was the highest yardage for tight ends. So, there is one good thing about the Washington football team that's strong. Wait, did I just say Washington football team in conjunction with the word strong? That leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. Nevertheless, historically, Ron Rivera and Alex Smith target the tight end position. And the stats, of course, back this up. Since the bye week, Thomas averages 6 targets and 47 yards, which is not too bad for a tight end that's coming off of the waiver wire. Now, of course, we could add some of the tight end bench warmers, including Robert Tonyan and Tyler Higbee. Of course, they got big names, they have good opportunity, but as of late, their numbers have been pretty low. So if you are desperate for a tight end this week, you could take a look at Tyler Higbee and Robert Tonyan. In conclusion, as exhaustion begins to unfold, for many of you, remember fantasy football is a game of endurance. Sleep on one waiver wire pickup and your opponents will equip themselves to take you out. Splat! Find little ways to recharge your mind in order to better prepare for the fantasy week. All right? Do that for me. Find little ways to recharge your mind in order to better prepare for the fantasy week. That's all we're asking. Hey, all right, everybody. If you like the video and what we're doing here at Fantasy Academy, please hit the thumbs up button on this video and then subscribe to the channel to get all the latest releases. Lastly, leave a comment or question below. Tell me what your favorite waiver wire pickup has been this whole season and tell me why. Then of course come back next Monday for week 12 of the waiver wire. I'll see you later. Bye.